In the beginning of the movie, we see a frightened doctor running who was about to save his life from someone and reach the taxi. But then someone pulls him from inside the sewage, and then the scene shifts to Brad, Andy, and Chris, who were on a trip to Paris. And soon they reach the Grand Eiffel Tower of Paris. But unfortunately, it is closed at night. But still, the three of them reach the tower quietly. Andy starts preparing for bungee jumping because he had to prove his bravery. However, Brad and Chris try to stop him, but Andy remains adamant. Meanwhile, a beautiful girl, Seraphine, comes here. The three of them hide after seeing her. But when they see Seraphine jumping, Andy immediately comes forward to stop her. But Seraphine jumps and Andy also jumps to save her. When Brad and Chris hold the rope tied to Andy's leg and help them, Andy gets Seraphine to land a selfie. But because the rope is reserved, it hurts a lot. And then his eyes open in the hospital. But even in this condition, he worries about Seraphine, that she might commit suicide again. Andy tells Chris and Brad that Seraphine had a letter in her hand, with the help of which we can find out her address. Both friends go to the Eiffel Tower to find the letter, when Andy sees Seraphine in the hospital. Seeing this, Andy starts following her. Andy calls out to Seraphine. That's when the doctor comes and opens the door and drops Andy on the ground. And when Andy looks up, Seraphine is not there. Meanwhile, Chris and Brad also come here and show Andy Seraphine's letter, which had the address of her house. The next day after getting the address, the three friends knock on Seraphine's house. But Seraphine is not happy to see them, but tries to chase them away. But Andy was not going to leave without talking to Seraphine, so Seraphine promises to meet him tomorrow and sends him away. According to the promise, the next day Seraphine and Andy go on a date. All this was quite surprising for Andy, so he gets a little nervous and starts doing weird things, which makes Seraphine also get annoyed and starts leaving. But Andy apologizes and somehow stops Seraphine. After a while, a strongman starts fighting with Andy. Poor Andy keeps getting beaten up, but Seraphine teaches this man a lesson. Seeing this powerful power of Seraphine, Andy also gets confused and asks Seraphine, how did you do this? How did you get so much power? Seraphine warns Andy to stay away and leaves from here. But Andy arrives at Seraphine's house with both friends in the evening. And this time, the door is opened by Seraphine's caretaker, Claude, who tells him that Seraphine will be at the full moon night party. He also invites Seraphine to the party. Without delay, the three of them come to the party, and as soon as they tell Claude's name, they get an entry. Seraphine is nowhere to be seen in the crowd. So Chris comes to his house in search of Seraphine. After ringing the doorbell, no one opens the door. And then Chris's eyes go to a window in the basement, which Chris removes and reaches inside, where Seraphine was trapped. When Seraphine finds out that Andy is present at the party, she gets very scared because that party was not free from danger. To save Andy, Seraphine quickly gets out of the cell and starts going to the party. But Chris also insists on going with her. Seeing the danger, Seraphine locks him in the cell and leaves from here. Seraphine comes in even after the entry gate is closed because there were no restrictions on it. Seraphine takes Andy and tries to get out of a secret way. Seeing him go out, Claude and Brad also start following them. Here we see Chris, who uses his cunning mind to make a rope out of his clothes and throws this rope near the key from inside the cell, and the key falls on the clothes from the shoe, opens the cell and comes out. But then he hears a strange scary voice from behind a curtain, and as soon as he removes the curtain, a legless wolf attacks him. But Chris quickly saves his life and runs away from here. On the other hand, we see Seraphine, who takes Andy out of the club through a secret way. While the people present in the club start turning into wolves. Because today was the night of the full moon and it also affects Seraphine. Seraphine takes the form of a wolf and enters the same secret way from where Andy had gone. In the shadow of a dark night, a ghost comes to the club. Human-made wolves start eating ordinary people. Meanwhile, Brad also enters the secret way. The people present in the club run outside to save their lives, but Claude closes the main door and turns everyone into wolf food. Brad also keeps looking for Andy, and in the meantime he meets a wolf who injures Brad and blows him into the river. Then comes Andy's turn. When he sees the wolf as death in front of him, his air tightens and he starts running. But the wolf also keeps attacking him. To save himself, Andy kills an iron rod wolf and runs away from here. But unfortunately, the wolf again gets up and starts chasing him. To save himself from the wolf, Andy takes the support of a hole and quickly starts getting inside it. But before going inside, the wolf grabs one of his legs. Andy somehow manages to get out of the hole, but due to excessive injury, he falls unconscious here. When Andy opens his eyes, he is present at Seraphine's house. While Seraphine is preparing a very special smoothie for Andy in the kitchen below, which was of the heart of humans. Chris is also watching all this from the window. Chris asks Andy to get out of the house quickly. But before Andy can think of anything, Seraphine brings the juice of the heart. because after the wolf bite, Andy was also going to turn into a wolf. Andy refuses to drink this red juice, on which Seraphine tells him the whole truth that after the bite of the werewolf, ordinary people turn into werewolves like you. But Andy does not believe in this at all, and in the meantime, Seraphine's scary mom comes here, seeing which Andy is very scared. Because she was dead, but still Andy was able to see her. Andy sees all this and quickly jumps out of the window. Chris also tries to go to Andy, but Claude catches him. When Andy goes to the club, he sees that there are body parts of many people there, but no one has a heart. Brett was also dead, so the police takes Andy to the police station for an investigation. Here Andy tells the truth, but no one believes him. And to know the truth, a detective is put behind Andy. Gradually, Andy's body begins to change. In the restaurant too, he eats like an animal. In the meantime, he looks at a girl named Amy, who he likes a lot. And Amy also starts having lunch with Andy. But when Andy opens the dish, he sees his friend Brett's face, seeing which he starts screaming loudly. While Amy keeps laughing at him, Andy saves his life and comes to the washroom, and here too, seeing Brett's soul, he starts sweating. Brett tells Andy that until you kill my killer, that is, the wolves, my soul will keep wandering like this. After this, Andy takes Amy to the cemetery and both start becoming intimate here. But they don't know that the detective is keeping an eye on them. During the intimate, Andy's body begins to change and he quickly jumps into the water. When Amy goes to see Andy, Andy comes out in the form of a wolf, seeing which Amy gets scared and hides in a room from here. But here, the shadow of the detective's dog comes out of the room. Hearing Amy's voice, the detective also becomes alert and tells Amy that I am a policeman. Hearing this, Amy also calms down. But then the wolf attacks Amy and kills her. The detective shoots the wolf to save himself. But due to missing the target, the wolf also attacks it and kills it. The next morning when Andy opens his eyes, the police and media are in front of him and Andy is without clothes. The police take him to show the dead bodies of Amy and the detective, and here Andy sees Amy and Brett's soul. Amy wanted Andy's death, while Brett wanted his killer wolf's death because only then could her soul be free. Andy comes out of their help and understands that if he wants to become a normal person again, then he will have to eat the heart of the same wolf who has bitten him. But doing this was very difficult for Andy because it was bitten by a Seraphine, which was Andy's crush. Seeing this, Amy tries to kill Andy, but Brett saves her, on which Amy starts fighting with Brett. Meanwhile, Claude comes here and takes Andy to the church. Claude wanted Andy to join his wolf group. Claude also takes Andy to Chris and tells him to kill Chris. But Andy, keeping the friendship, starts killing Claude and his companions. And tries to get out of here as soon as possible, but is surrounded by Claude's companions. But at the right time, the Seraphine enters and takes Andy from here. And the Seraphine blocks the way of the enemies by sending this path to fire. After this, the Seraphine and Andy jump into the water and come to the Seraphine's house. The Seraphine introduces Andy to her stepfather, who was a wolf. The Seraphine tells that my father was a doctor who experimented on me to save me, but unfortunately that experiment went wrong and the Seraphine became a wolf. Seeing this, her father tried to run away, but the Seraphine bit his legs, while Andy killed his mother. Hearing all this, Andy becomes emotional and hugs the Seraphine and both become intimate. But then Claude comes here with his gang, but Andy runs away from here before being caught by them. And after a while, he comes back to the basement near the Seraphine, where the Seraphine was trying to revive her father. But there is no use and the Seraphine's father dies. Andy asks the Seraphine about his father's research. The Seraphine gives all the information related to the research, but some of the research was missing, which was actually stolen by Claude. These were the experiments with which the werewolves could transform at any time of the month. It was very important to find this data, and a note makes this difficult task easy. With the help of the address written on it, the Seraphine and Andy both reach a party. Claude had made this party so that he could target the Americans with this excuse. Andy takes entry in the party and tells everyone on a table that you are in danger. But no one believes Andy's words. Instead, the police handcuffs him and takes him with them. As soon as they leave, Claude and his companions come here in black clothes and inject the medicine that makes wolves in their body so that they can eat people. Here Andy tells the police that Chris's life is in danger, we will have to help him. But the police do not trust Andy and start taking him outside. But outside Claude had kept the JCB like a companion, so the door does not open. Meanwhile, Andy's eyes are closed on Chris, who was in a very painful condition. The police also see Chris and immediately order to close the party and Claude's companions are arrested. The police were just threatening Claude that at that time wolves start becoming with Claude and start attacking everyone, which causes a lot of chaos in the hall. These wolves make their meal, no one can go out because the main gate is closed. Seeing this, Seraphine kills the driver who controls the JCB and breaks the main gate, so everyone runs away from here. Meanwhile, the police caravan also gathers outside, While inside, Andy shoots a wolf to free the soul of Brett. The police wanted to arrest Andy, so Seraphine and Andy both start running from the secret path. But the police staff also follows them continuously. The wolves kill all the police officers and Seraphine injects the same medicine to herself to deal with these wolves, which could have made her a wolf. Seraphine becomes a wolf and kills her enemy wolf, and unknowingly Andy shoots Seraphine and injures her. Seraphine tells him to eat my heart to become a normal person, but Andy is not able to do this and starts running away from here to escape the police, and a wolf comes in front of him as soon as he walks a little far. At this time, Andy was on the railway track and then the train comes in front of him. Andy escapes, but the wolf becomes a target. As soon as the driver stops the train, the wolf goes inside and starts killing everyone. But after the effect of the medicine is over, this wolf turns into Claude. Meanwhile, Andy comes here and attacks him. When Andy sees the iron rod mark on Claude's body, then he finds out that he has to kill Claude instead of Seraphine, because of which he became a wolf. Even now, Claude tries to inject the medicine, but in vain. This injection hits Andy and he becomes a wolf, kills Claude, and eats his heart. Finally, Andy and Seraphine get married. As soon as Chris takes out the ring falls down. To catch it, Seraphine and Andy both jump. But unfortunately, Andy's rope is not tied, but Seraphine saves him with the help of her rope. And in the air, Andy puts the ring on Seraphine and the movie ends. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.